Hello students, today we are discussing about the liquid dosage forms. So first of all we have monophasic liquid dosage form. So what are the monophasic liquid dosage forms? So as the word monophasic suggests that this system contains only one phase, no matter components might be minimum two or more than two. So henceforth this can be defined as a homogeneous one phase system, so which consisting of two or more components. So one phase is a solvent and the other one is the solute. So solute might be one or more than one. So in general the solvent is present in the large quantity, but there are a few exceptions like simple syrup, which contains 66.7% weight by weight of sucrose and 33.3% weight by weight water. So monophasic liquid dosage forms are the simplest form of presenting medication for rapid absorption of the drug. So they are dispensed for various purposes as shown in section 5.2. So the definition of different forms are discussed in the next subsection. So definition and brief account of mixtures and concentrates. So they are the mixture and concentrates are the dilute or concentrated monophasic preparations intended for oral administration in which drug is dissolved in a suitable vehicle. So the most suitable vehicle for this form of dosage is water based, uh, just because of its lack of toxicity and physiological compatibility and its ability to dissolve a wide range of materials. So purified water, freshly boiled and is cooled, is widely used instead of potable water to avoid any undesirable effects of ions oftenly present in potable water. So generally they are supplied in a multi-dose airtight and light resistant containers bearing proper labels. So label must contain information like drug content, alcohol content if present in each 5 ml of dose, storage conditions, batch number, manufacturing license number and manufacturing date, expiry date and name and address of the manufacturer. So concentrates are required to be diluted before use, so which include concentrated aromatic waters which are diluted to produce aromatic waters to be used as vehicle in liquid preparations. So next is syrups. So they are sweetened viscous concentrated solutions of sucrose or other sugars in water or any other suitable aqueous vehicles. So syrups are further classified in two classes. First one is simple flavored syrups. So when syrups do not contain any medicament but contain some aromatic or pleasantly flavored substances, so these syrups are used as a vehicle for other liquid preparations to mask the disagreeable taste of medicament. So next is medicated syrup. So when syrups contain some medicinal substances along with the other additives, so simple flavored syrups are supplied in bulk volumes while medicated syrups are supplied in small volumes and in airtight and light resistant bottles or other containers bearing proper labels. So label must contain all necessary information as discussed in mixtures. So next is elixirs. So the elixirs are the clear, flavored, sweetened hydroalcoholic liquid preparations for oral administration. So the percentage of alcohol varies from 4 to 40%. So they are classified into two classes. First one is non-medicated elixirs. So when elixirs do not contain any medicament but contain some aromatic or pleasantly flavored substances, so these elixirs are used as vehicles for other liquid preparations. So next is medicated elixirs. So when elixirs contain some medicinal substances along with the other additives. So medicated elixirs usually contain potent and nauseous drugs like antibiotics, antihistaminics, antitussives, and sedatives. So the bitter and nauseous taste of these drugs is masked up to a certain limit due to presence of flavoring and sweetening agents in hydroalcoholic medium, so that it can easily be taken by the patients of children group. So due to presence of alcohol, few advantages are provided to the preparation, which is like solubility of drug is enhanced, non-change of microbial growth, and no need of adding preservatives if alcohol quantity is more than 20%. So a pharmacist thinks that a particle dose cannot be provided to the patient due to the lack of drug solubility in syrups. He can go forward for the formulation of elixirs for the same drugs. So non-medicated elixirs are supplied in bulk volumes, while medicated elixirs are supplied in small volumes and in airtight and light-resistant bottles and other containers bearing proper labels. So as such, labels of elixir should contain all requirements as discussed in syrups. But one most important point here is the amount of alcohol content which should be mentioned on the label. So next is draught. So the draughts are the liquid oral preparations of which only one or two large doses, usually of 50 ml, which are prescribed. So each dose is supplied in a separate bottle. So the medicaments are given in the form of draughts because they deteriorate rapidly and cannot be kept for a long time. So the patients are advised to discard if it is not consumed within a required period. So usual expiry period of draughts is 1 or 2 days. So next is drops. So the drops are liquid preparations meant for pediatrics. So generally vitamins and antibiotics are given in the form of drops. So they are supplied in a bottle with calibrated dropper. So drops contain potent drugs and smearing of the doses should be done carefully. So drops are supplied in small volume containers, that is 5 ml to 10 ml, and the label on the drops container must be all necessary requirements for liquid preparation. So the dose must be mentioned in drops, or if it at all any dilution is necessary, then dilution ratio must be written on the label. So next is linctuses. So they are viscous oral liquid preparations for relief of cough. So they contain high proportion of syrup. So very often glycerin is added to the formulation, which provides sweet taste as well as demulcent effect on the mucous membranes of the throat. So it should be taken as such without dilution and must be sipped slowly so as to prolong the action of the drug. So usual dose of linctuses is 5 ml. So it should be supplied in a multi-dose container so as to provide 15 to 20 doses together. So the labels must contain all necessary requirements of liquid preparations. Next is lotions. So they are the aqueous, oily or alcoholic liquid preparations or suspensions and emulsions intended for external application without friction. So in this section we are considering only monophagic lotions. So they are usually applied on the affected part with the help of some absorbent material such as cotton wool or gauze soaked in the lotion. So the purpose of the lotion is to provide cooling, soothing and protective action. So usually lotions contain local anesthetics or antiseptics. So they are supplied in colored fluted bottles in order to distinguish them from preparations meant for internal use. So the label must contain all necessary requirements of liquid forms. So in addition to those, it must be a direction like for external use only. So keep out of the reach of the children and apply without rubbing. So since they are preparations for external use, so they do not have any dose column in their labels. Next we have is liniments. So the liniments are usually alcoholic and oily liquid preparations or emulsions which are intended for external use with friction. So here we consider only monophagic liniments. So they are designed for the purpose of analgesic, rubefacient and stimulating activity of the drugs on the external parts of the body. So they are applied on the skin with rubbing and should never be applied on the broken parts of the skin. So also they are supplied in colored fluted bottles in order to distinguish them from preparations made for internal use. So the label must contain all necessary requirements of liquid dosiforms. So in addition to these, it must be a directions like for external use only and keep out of the reach of the children and apply with gentle rubbing. So also it is not to be applied on the wounds or broken skin. So similar to the lotions, they do not have any column of dose in their labels. So next is collodions. So collodions are the fluid preparations for external use. So the peculiarity of these external preparations is that they contain volatile vehicle which evaporates on application to the skin, leaving a flexible protective film covering the affected site. So the preparation is applied with either brush or rod. So they are available in two classes. First one is non-medicated collodions. So in case of non-medicated collodions, when preparation do not contain any medicament, they are simply used for protecting small cuts and abrasions. So next is medicated collodions. So when preparations contain medicated medicament along with other additives. So the collodions are usually applied to provide a sustained source of keratolytic agent. First one is salicylic acid, which is used in the treatment of corns and warts. Next is they are supplied in small volume airtight, light and resistant bottles. So the label must bear all necessary requirements of liquid dosage forms. So in addition, it must contain few more directions like for external use only, store in a cool place, keep away from the flame, highly inflammable, keep out of the reach of the children, and dose column must be avoided since it is a preparation for external use. Next is gargles. So the gargles are the aqueous solution used for the treatment of throat infections, pharynx and nasopharynx part. So they are supplied in concentrated forms with the direction of dilutions with warm water before use. So they are used in the posterior region of the mouth cavity by agitating the solution with the expired air. So they are remained there for few moments, after which they are thrown out of the mouth. So they are supplied in a clear fluted glass bottle to distinguish them with the preparations made for internal administration. So the container must be airtight and light resistant. So labels on the bottle must be the directions like for external use only, dilution ratio with warm water, and all other requirements of liquid doses form except the dose column. So mouthwashes. In case of mouthwashes are the aqueous liquid preparations used for rinsing, deodorant, refreshing, or antiseptic action on the front portion of the mouth cavity. So it should be pleasant in taste and odor. Usually they are supplied in concentrated form in clear fluted container, and label should be a directions like and dilution ratio with warm water for external use only, and all other necessary requirements of liquid dosage form except the dose column. So next is throat paints. So the throat paints are viscous liquid preparations used for mouth and throat infections. So glycerin is the most commonly employed vehicle because of its viscous nature and sweet agreeable taste. So they are made viscous so that the drug should remain in contact with the mucous membrane for a long time. Also, they are supplied in a airtight color fluted bottles in order to distinguish them from preparations made for external use, internal use. So the application of paint on the affected part is made with the help of camel brush or by cotton plug twisted at the tip of a wooden slim stick. So they are supplied as such without dilutions. So label on the bottle must be directions like for external use only, apply with camel brush, and all necessary requirements of liquid dosage form except the dose column. So next is nasal drops and sprays. So nasal drops are aqueous preparations of drugs that are instilled into the nostrils. So oils are not preferred as a vehicle in nasal preparations because oily drops inhibit movement of cilia in the nasal mucosa and may cause lipoidal pneumonia. So installation of nasal drops is achieved by using a dropper. So the conventional amber colored glass bottle with a medicine dropper top should be used for drop medication. So nasal sprays are the same preparations as nasal drops, but they are instilled in the nostrils in the form of fine mist with the help of atomizer or a spray package like nebulizer, which produce a very fine mist of drug solution so as to reach into the respiratory tract. So labels on the container must be directions like for external use only and for the use only in the nose and number of drops to be instilled at a time. So it should also contain all other necessary requirements of liquid dosage forms. So next is Dutches. They are aqueous solutions used to cleanse, deodorize, soothe or medicate bones, body orifices or cavities after applying them with low pressure. So the word Dutch is most commonly used for vaginal solution, and they are also supplied in the form of powders or tablets with the directions for dissolving them in specified quantity of warm water. So they are usually concentrated solutions and are supplied, and patients are required to dilute it accordingly before use. So for vaginal Dutches, they must be sterile if used after childbirth or any surgery of vaginal region. So they are introduced by means of suitable rubber syringe with a specially designed nozzle. Also, they are supplied in a narrow mouthed glass fluted bottle to distinguish them with preparations meet for internal use. So powders or tables might be supplied in suitable boxes of plastic and in the form of strips of aluminum foil. So labels on the container must be directions like for external use only, dilution ratio with warm water, quantity of powder or number of tablets to be dissolved in a specified quantity of water along with other necessary requirements of light liquids and solid dosage forms. So student, that is all for the day. Thank you.